the measures being taken by the Cozy History, Heritage History.
Yeah, that fundy baby voice sound that it's being used by history sites is terrifying because that's basically the sound of passive aggression. You can't question it. If you question it, you're bad. It's the ultimate authority through physicality, through the sound of the voice. You can't question that. It's so sweet and nice. But the second you realize that that's what's being done, it kind of undermines everything. And it's not just a right-wing white fundy thing. It's a human thing. It's present in all institutions, and I know because I saw it in schooling, which means everyone saw it in schooling. It's the word of cold command, but it's not really cold command. It's warm command. It's passive aggression. And like your whole being probably wants to just, hey, how dare you talk to me like that? But of course, when you're a kid, you don't know any better. So yeah, this is it's definitely a gender thing, but it's more of a human universal thing. You don't want to question someone who talks like this, do you? See, how does that sound? Does that rankle your whole being? And for a historic site to use that sort of tone is deeply damning. Because that means they are claiming absolute unquestionable authority. And the whole point of history as a field of human endeavor is it's not absolute, it's discursive. So seeking to destroy that discursion is essentially seeking to undo the whole historical process, which I guess makes sense for patriot myth history sites to do. They don't care about the truth, they care about the myth. And Lord help you if you question that myth. And that's really dangerous and scary, but now you know. And now I guess I gotta look more into the fundy baby voice specifically because it kind of fits into everything. If you have the power of God, you need to possess the power of God. It's not, it's, And I mean, that's just what I see in performance spaces and educational spaces. And we as human beings need to move beyond it. Oh, and one other thing, and I commented on this before, but this kind of thing makes history boring. All of this chintzy, oh, look at the furniture, look at the wallpaper. Who cares? Like what? The MAGA commenters, they care, and they don't really care. The fact is, if you show the reality, it's horrible, but it's dramatic. It's gripping. It's things human beings did in the past. It's not, oh, you have to feel this way. Like, oh, just present it as it is. That's more compelling than this, oh, look at these pretty furniture. I mean, the question is, has there been, maybe you saw it, like an actual scientific attempt to prove that people prefer dramatic but challenging over dull and safe? Because that's a core contrast. Like, you think about kids that go, what would grab them? Wallpapers and furniture and bedding, or this was a site of oppression. But that's really more about the parents anyway. And do the parents value the myth of the truth? And I keep thinking that there's a way to frame the truth that's not manipulative, because this is manipulative. All this stuff with Mount Vernon, the pretty rooms, that's manipulation. And surely people know that they're being manipulated, but they don't know any better. That's why these negative forces want to take control of these institutions, because they seek that apparently neutral authority towards their own ends. We have to move beyond myth, period. And we do that by showing the truth, warts and all. And I really think, but you guys probably have better evidence than I do, that truth is more compelling than myth. You know, all these people say, oh, people are so bored by history. They're bored by it because it's myth. Because it obviously seems like nonsense, but they don't know what to do with that. And all the comments that came from this discussion, it's either just pure ignorance, and so resisting to the ignorance, or actually malevolent forces who, they're pure reactionaries. They want the bad thing because the bad thing makes them feel good. But I think with most people, they just don't know any better. And so it's our job as public historians, artists, to help bridge that gap. I think we have to have that discussion. How do we do that? How do we communicate? How do we coordinate? Because, I spend my time around lots of artists, and, their historical knowledge varies a great deal. And that's a discussion that needs to happen. Public historians and artists and non-public historians need to talk to each other more. There needs to be more coordination across domains. And thank you. I can't believe it took me this long to discover you. This whole community. Yes! There's so much work to do, and there's so much work to be done, and it's going on in different places, and people don't know about each other. And I see it as my responsibility, I'm sure a lot of you guys too, to connect those different spaces. It's there. The interest is there. The passion is there. It's just a matter of making the move.